Madam Secretary, you made a comment about the Antiquities Act to the effect that no plans to do so, to use it in Alaska at this time. Do you have any idea that you might use it in the next 2 years, the Antiquities Act?
There's nothing I've heard from the White House or otherwise that would...
That's what bothers me. Leave the White House out of it. You're the Secretary. Keep that in mind. The second thing is, I hope they understand the no more clause in the NELCA.
Do
you understand the no more clause?
I do.
Okay, that's very important. Because we in Alaska right now, you're probably more famous than Mo Udall. And they used to wave at Mo Udall with a one-handed salute. Because of what this department, and again, you just mentioned the White House has done to the state of Alaska and continues to do so. I would like to ask you, you can't answer it this time, I want to know the background determination of each Park Service employee in the state of Alaska and where they came from and their prior employment. I want to know that for my own record. You understand what I'm saying?
I don't exactly...
Every person working for the Park Service in the state of Alaska, the term of residency, where they came from, and their background of where they were employed before the Park Service. What I'm getting at, we don't have many Alaskans that are from Alaska working for the Park Service. So you can get that information to me. Secondly is, are you aware of the term, your written statement, it says use the word preserve for fish and wildlife. Preserve, not conserve. Now is that agency becoming an agency of preserving something or conserving something?
Sir, we operate under the acts that were the authorizing legislation, and I don't know exactly what the language says. Okay.
It says conserve, not preserve. There's two different things. Conservation on fish and wildlife is crucially important, not preserving. Conserve. That is the role of a multiple use of the fish and wildlife. And I've watched fish and wildlife refuges now become off limits and dictated how they will be managed by themselves and not in cooperation with the states, which reminds me, this year in September, the Park Service used a proposed rule, practice of the Fish and Wildlife Game Board of the state of Alaska, which has the authority over the preserves. Now they've come down with a set of rules that without consultation with the state nor the native groups, without consultation on how certain animals should be taken, what methods can be taken, and what time they can be taken. This is not state rule. This is not native rule, and there was, to my knowledge, no consultation. If there was consultation, I'd like to have the record of those.
Okay.
Was there consultation?
I don't know specifically what
that's what I'm saying.
To.
That's why I'm asking the question. I want it back to me. I want to know what happened with the Park Service. In fact, your own department, the Wildlife and Hunting Heritage Conservation Council, with your own department, suggested that you direct the Park Service to work with the state of Alaska and the native groups on this issue, so we don't have to follow the rules of the Park Service without consultation with the state and the native corporations. Under the law, they have the authority to manage the aim on preserves. Now the Park Service is saying no. Now you're probably not aware of all this. I'm just suggesting that's the problem with your department. You have a bunch of people within these agencies making decisions without consultation with you or consultation with the state or the native groups, which they're told to do under the law. They go like this to the state of Alaska, this to the Alaska natives, and say, we are the Park Service.
Sir, I know that there is...
That 79 letters that you just sent to people in that wolf deal, how many of you got wolves in your district? None. None. Not one. 79 people sent a letter concerning your deer herd and elk herd and want to say, don't delist, and by the way, thank you, delist the gray wolf. The gray wolf, in fact, is a predator which is killing the cloven hoof animals. And we got 79 congressmen sending you a letter, haven't got a damn wolf in your whole district. I'd like to introduce them in your district. I'd introduce your district, you wouldn't have a homeless problem anymore. I yield back.
Thank you. Mr. Polis, we welcome you to your first committee meeting with us here.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.